What is up, YouTube? Jess here with Jess Man Sports Cards. Thank you for joining me. We're going to do basically my thoughts on the current grading companies and a couple others. And other people have done these videos. I've kind of always wanted to do mine and give my own 2 cents of the stuff that I love and then the stuff I'm not crazy about. And then also, if there's anyone from the companies listening, I think this is also an avenue for feedback. Not going to be harsh, but plan on being fair. PSA is definitely my number one go-to for a couple reasons. The case is nice. Uh, most of them are fairly thin, and this is a great example. This is one of my newer pickups. Um, the color matches, and then what I also really like about PSA is they're probably one of the tougher graders, but that's why their cases like command a premium sometimes. Don't see any real whiting on the corners. Surface looks good. No scuffs. Just back is clean. A little white here and there. And then on the front too, it's a little off center left to right. It's just fairly and accurately graded, and that's what I'd say they one of the best things that they do. They're fair, they're accurate, and sometimes they're a little tough. And I think that's one of the reasons that they do a little better. Um, I'm happy with this card. Super rare. I'm glad to add it to the Iverson second year. Trying to get a little more in the collector mindset. Um, One of the things I do not like that PSA has started doing is they've gotten away from the defined edges. I've shown this before. And these are free floating. So you can like, the card moves up and then it can get crooked. I mean, that just looks like shit to me. And then it's kind of like a pain in the ass sometimes to get the card like back in a spot where it looks okay. Like, why can't they just put the edges on it and this has like a baggie. It's a little harder to see. They did a pretty good job with the bag on this one. Uh, Hopefully one day they let you reholder these things and let you put the borders on it and choose. But I just wish they would quit doing this, please. It's really frustrating. You get it like that, it looks okay, but not happy. And then occasionally you can see the bag, and that's what you'll hear about complaints from the other people. It's the bag thing is they're doing it more and more. I wish they would quit it. Here's another example of the bag, and then you can. I have this bright light, so if you take away the bright light, it's not as easy to see, but to the naked eye, you can see it. It detracts from the card. It's just quit it, please. The other thing is they've started doing these slightly thicker cases, and then sometimes you can get submissions back where they have this thicker case, and then it's the standard size case. And I'll show you what I mean. So I don't know why this card needed to go in the thicker one. It's got like it's just like a fatter, deeper edge. It's more cumbersome, and it's not good. This is what can happen to these baggies, is they get worse. They start to fold more. This is older. I mean, this was graded quite a while ago, but to me, this is why they gotta quit doing the bags. This card does not look good at all. I'll eventually get this reholdered, but I'm buying the card and the grade essentially. But if just PSA could quit doing this, I'd appreciate it. More examples. Um, these are cards. This is a card that I submitted. These two, and it came back. One of the reasons I like PSA is I think they'll make these, since I graded these and I didn't buy them graded, I can complain about this and get this fixed. But PSA is still number one in my book. Number two, CSG. This is their old case. If you've watched other channels, you'll hear people talk about it. This is a Ray Allen rookie, one of his rarest ones, the rookie sensation. It's the clearest plastic in town. It's the same like thickness and shape of the PSA one. So when you're storing your PSA ones, they fit. It's nice. They're pretty stern graders. Saying quite a bit, but people were complaining about the green for a long time, and occasionally it color matches. I think here it color matches with like the green tints and stuff. I still rather it be a little different. But then they did switch to the black, and it happens to color match more often. And the flap is actually a little smaller. So the case is the same size, but they made the flap or the piece of paper smaller. So it detracts from the card less. So this is probably going to be the only other company that I will submit to is CSG. I plan on supporting them and putting a 20 card order together. Now that they're doing the black cases, I am buying more of these as I see them pop up. They're better deals. Most of my card purchases are long term, at least like 3 to 5 to 10 years. Topps Chrome, you have to watch for greening, but this is the insert. I think this one color matches pretty well. The plastic is gorgeous. It's like why PSA can't do this. That's another improvement PSA could do. That's, I think, another good color match. So I'm buying these as they pop up of cards that I want. I'm very happy with them overall. If they held a little more value, I'd probably submit to them. But right now, PSA is my top choice, but CSG is number two. A close number two, I don't know, but I am a fan. Who am I going to put at number three here? SGC. Their cases are bigger. I'm drinking a little vino, a little Chardonnay. It's like 8:30 at night here. This is a Jordan. So the things I don't like about SGC is the black around the card. I think it takes away from it instead of the clearness. This showcases the card more, in my opinion. The black around it detracts from it. It's supposed to be a showcase and protection of the card. So if they could get rid of that black around it, I prefer that. So that's one of my complaints. And then the size of them. That's probably hard to see. So left to right, they're a touch bigger. And then top to bottom, they're a touch bigger. The left to right thing is kind of a bigger deal because in like storage boxes for graded cards, these don't they fit, but just it pushes the box a little bit, which is a little frustrating. So I don't know why they can't just get in line with the other ones. People are collecting graded cards. Um, let's see if I can see it here. I think they're fair graders, but occasionally I think they're a little soft. This is a 10. Shohei rookie. This is like their best grade. Can you see that? This is like that little white speck there. It's not, I don't know. It's not a 10 to me on a super modern card like this. So when I got it, I was a little upset, but it's hard to dispute graded cards. I bought this before he had the really nice season. So I bought this at the end of last season. So most of the time I'm just buying the card. This is J14. So J11 through J14 are 1 in 99 packs. This is probably the best pose of the one J11 through J14. 9. Front is good. Back. This is soft 9 to me. It could be an 8 or a 9. And that's where I see what more as I look the cards over because I look at cards to grade and stuff, and I feel like I'm getting better and better of like what I feel what should be, and I have my own like strong good opinion at it because I've looked at so many cards. This is just a soft 9, and that's where I feel most of the time. Like, okay, that's fair and accurate, but it's on the soft side. So I'd say they're more lenient. I think that's where some people like them because they feel like PSA is too strict. SGC 3, get rid of the black, conform your cases on this size a little better, and I'd be a happy camper. 4, BGS. They're like a far 4. Their 9.5 scale is kind of a joke to me now that I understand it better. What a true gym mint 9.5 is and all that type of thing. Almost all theirs have a baggie in it. They do a way better job with the baggies than PSA. So kudos there, but it's like so I'm looking at the corners. PSA is a bugger for corners. Um, so I feel like they're the softest of the 4 grading companies. PSA is the strictest. I think CSG is the second strictest. SGC is the third strictest, and these are a little thicker, but they're roughly the same size. The value is horrible on most of these. Not horrible, but I feel like sometimes some people do overpay because their grades are a little soft. I feel like this should be like an 8. It's not an 8.5. It's not a strong 8. I mean, if you can see from here that that's soft like that, you can see the white. It's like you don't have to, if you're not looking that hard, this is an 8 all day. There's no way it's an 8.5. And then I look at the subgrades and everything on these, and they're accurate, fair grades. But This 9.5, I've looked it over. There's no way I would crack it and think it has a chance at a 10. So all these cards are showing there's stuff I collect and I believe in. What about the other folks? HGA. Their cases actually look okay. I mean, I'm happy with both of those. I think some people think they're clowns. I don't think that, but I wouldn't grade with them just because. But from what I've seen of like this card, it's like centering is always really bad left to right. Um, would PSA probably give this an 8? It's possible. You can have a lot of surface issues on this card. The centering is actually pretty good on the back. So I could see this being an 8.5 or a 9. I can't see surface really good because it's in the case. And these aren't easy to find. And that's sometimes why I'm not afraid to buy these is like, okay, at least I have a fairly good idea that the card's protected and it's within a grade of what's on there. Would I expect a 9 from PSA? No, but I'm kind of expecting an 8. And sometimes that's how they get priced. So sometimes you can get deals. And then this is actually really well centered for this card. You can see a couple white specks. That's very typical of this card. The back is amazingly clean for this card. So overall, I would expect an 8 or a 9 from PSA on this. And these are just hard to find. They're like 1 in 180 packs or something like that. Something crazy. And then there's like blank fronts and then printed fronts. The printed fronts are even so to get the printed front, which I want, it's not easy to find. So I'm not afraid to buy. Not a big collector. These are like 2 of the only ones that I have. But if I want the card, here's some other examples. I have no idea who this is. But I look at the card in the listing. It's pretty well centered. No issues with the corners. Could this easily be a 9 at somewhere else? Yeah. I mean, crack this, and it's hard to tell the surface without cracking it, but I'd say this is easily a 9 or a 10 at surface 8.5. So I'd have to believe them and say this is probably a 9 at PSA. These are not necessarily easy to find. This was cheap. I don't know who these are, but wanted the card. I think this was like $40. Anyways, I've rambled on. I'm okay with the other companies. Just look over the card. You can't see the surface. Corner edges 7. I don't see anything that warrants a 7 on this. So some people say collect the card, not the grade. The grade matters, especially for long-term value. So pay attention to that. Let me know if anyone has differing opinions. What are the PSA ones? Stuck down. They're over here. So that's what I got. If you like the video, give a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share with a friend. PSA submission coming up probably the day after this or 2 days after, whenever I could get this uploaded. And then it'll be a cool one because I actually had the card submitted to the collector's vault. High res images. Overall, I was nervous about it, and I'll talk more about it in the video of just not getting the cards back. But I'm happy with what they did. There are some tweaks that I want, so we'll see if they'll listen to me on the tweaks. Anyways, hope everyone's having a great day, and I'll catch you later.